Well, I have this concrete cube. It's really heavy. It's 7 kilos, 200 grams. I just put it on the scales. And it's from a factory, a brick factory, a cement factory, and it's a trial. It's one of these, they just, when they are doing the cement, apparently they try and see how the consistency is going, and this is what they get. So they don't want it for anything, and I just ask for it. So you can ask for it over there, and if not, if you want to do something similar, you can use a brick or something like that. So we use it. I have 4, and currently we're using one of them as a doorstop with a heavy door we have. But the problem is that it's 7 kilos, so once it's on the floor, it doesn't move. You can really move it, and even moving it with your foot is a struggle. It's really heavy. So I want to make a sort of basket with handle so we can move it around. It's fun, isn't it? It's so heavy, the camera is down, so I don't have to lift it to show you. And I'm going to be using some foil that I have left from other projects and a piece of this strap thing, which is really strong. You can use other things, even the same material, to make the strap, but I already have this, which is really resistant, so I'm going to use it with that. Here in this channel we take advantage of everything we have, and we try to figure out how to use stuff. So if you like this kind of content, sewing, making your own clothes, fixing, mending and decorating your house and your stuff, consider subscribing, because I upload twice a week and that way you don't miss anything. Well, my little cube measures 15 by 15 by 15 centimeters. So this you can do different ways. You can design your own thing, and of course you can cover all of it if it's not your style or if you don't like it that much. I really like this industrial sort of style as well, and where we have it, it goes really well. So I'm going to keep it open on the top. So the bottom is going to be 15 by 15, but the sides are going to be only halfway up. So let's push this to the side and start cutting the fabric. The base is going to be 15 by 15, and then the sides are going to be 7.5 or 8. I don't really mind. And of course let's cut it with some seam allowance. So I'm going to be cutting 17. With my pieces cut, I have 1 for the base and then 4 for the sides. I'm going to start sewing them right sides together to the base. And I have my machine threaded in a black polyester from the last project, and I'm going to keep using that, but I'm going to change it into a thicker needle. I think it's a 116. And the black is just because the strap is black, so I think it's going to be a nice touch. Tips: instead of pinning your leather, because it will make a hole that is unfixable, try to use some paper clips. They work really well, and if you don't have one of those haberdashery pins, they're really good. So this is my cube. It's not very good yet, and it looks, if you look at it, it doesn't look very flat. It looks quite wavy and flimsy, and that's because it needs top stitching. I love top stitching, so let's do that. So I'm going to fold my previous seam to the sides that go up and sew on top. You can also do it open, but in this case I'm going to do it like this before I sew the sides to make the cube. Well, this is my cube. So if you realize, I didn't do corners. I cut my thread every time I finish one of the lines because it's not a corner thing. I don't need to do that because I'm going to be sewing the sides now. So just facing them together, right sides together, I'm going to start over there. Well, let's cut some corners a little bit because it's not turning right sides out. And now once it's right sides out, I'm going to try to do some top stitching as well on the side seams. And now that I'm going to sew on the right side, I am going to use my plastic foot because it's much easier. On the wrong side it doesn't really matter because this kind of fabric is it's soft on the inside, so it doesn't affect you when sewing, but now it will. And another seam you can use as reinforcement that is really simple, it's a double seam. Just make a second seam parallel to the first one you did, and that way all the strength is not on one seam but on two. For example, on this case I made it on this faux leather because it's quite difficult to fold twice to make a double seam on a faux leather fabric. So I made just a simple one, folded once, and then did the two seams, which is really strong. And now I'm going to sew my handle, and to do so I'm going to take into account I need 4 times 15 centimeters plus 20, for example, to be able to handle it properly. And you will say, why didn't you sew it to the sides before sewing it to the bottom or something like that? I think I prefer it all around because this is 7 kilos. So it's going to be quite heavy and it can rip the faux leather easily. And now with my ring of strap made, I'm going to make a top stitch so it's a bit stronger because this is heavy, opening and zigzag stitching. And now it's simply a matter of sewing it to the little basket. So I'm going to just sew it with a straight stitch, and when I get to the sides where I'm going to pull, I'm going to sew it a few times so it's quite strong as well. Let's try it. Ok. Pesa un quintal. Bien. So, sewing is so creative. Look at this. I'm in love. I really like seeing it, but having the softness of the pink and the leather, and it's really useful with the handle, which it wasn't, because once it's on the floor, you can't move it. It's so heavy. So let me know down in the comments what you thought. If you like this idea, I like sewing because you can make the most of stuff you have and make it useful, because this, once it's on the floor, it's there forever. So let me know down in the comments what you thought. If you like this idea, if you can think of something similar you can do, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Ya estoy.